History is full of mysteries, but the greatest anomaly of all is a book.
Not a fantasy novel. A text that claims its author is not human. The author claims to be the creator of the universe, God himself. The man who delivered it? He couldn't read or write, an illiterate merchant. Imagine a man who never read poetry, suddenly speaking the most profound literature. He didn't write it, he merely recited what he heard, the Quran. 14 centuries later, it stands as the most debated text in human history. How does an unlettered man produce a book that simply refuses to die? Think about every book on earth. Burn them all. They are lost forever. Every library in ashes. Every server wiped. All human knowledge erased in a day. Except for this one. This book would survive. Word for exact word. Why? Because millions of people carry it inside their minds. By heart. They don't just memorize the words, they memorize the exact length of every vowel. Since childhood, a global community protects its pronunciation. It is a living audio file. You cannot burn a book that lives entirely inside the human mind. Even without a single physical manuscript, it would be perfectly rewritten by tomorrow morning. Look at ancient texts. They have revisions, first editions, mistranslations, human tampering. The Quran has no additions, no version 2.0. The text has never changed. What was spoken in the desert centuries ago is exactly what remains today. You cannot corrupt a text universally memorized. The crowd will always correct you. If a scholar makes a single mistake during a recitation, a child will correct him. It is a linguistic fortress, locked from the inside, immune to human editing. Compare a manuscript from the 7th century to an app on your phone today. They match perfectly. It is a historical preservation that defies logic. Think of religious history like a smartphone. You have older software operating systems, the Torah, the Gospel, beautiful codes downloaded to earlier generations. But over time, human users tampered with the source code. They introduced bugs. Emperors and councils altered the original files to suit their own political power. Translations of translations. The pure original software was buried under human editing. So, what does the developer do? He sends a final, ultimate system update. The Quran is the final patch, the ultimate software update to fix corrupted files. It confirms the original truths of the older books, but overrides the human tampering. And this time, the developer locked the code. No more updates, no more edits. The Arabs of that era were undisputed masters of poetry. Words were their weapons. They prided themselves on eloquence. They could compose epics on the spot. Then this book arrives. It looks them in the eye and issues a dare. It says, if you doubt this is from God, produce just one chapter like it. They couldn't. The greatest poets in history We're paralyzed by its linguistic structure. That challenge remains open today. 1,400 years later, the bounty goes unclaimed. It isn't poetry. It isn't prose. It is a completely unique rhythmic structure. No human algorithm has been able to reverse engineer its literary perfection. But what does the code actually say? What is inside this unchangeable manual? It isn't just rituals. It demands absolute justice, even if it goes against yourself. It crushed racism instantly, declaring no race is superior. Only your character matters. It gave women property rights and inheritance 1,000 years before the Western world. It details embryonic development, deep sea internal waves, the expanding universe, facts discovered by modern telescopes and microscopes, spoken by a man in the desert. Over 6,000 verses, delivered over 23 years, and not a single contradiction. Try speaking for 23 years without ever contradicting your own philosophy. It is impossible. So we are left with a massive intellectual problem, a historical impossibility. An illiterate man produced a flawless book claiming to be God's final word. If it is a lie, it is the most complex, unbreakable lie in history. Liars want money or power. He died with nothing, sleeping on a straw mat. If it is the truth, then it changes absolutely everything about your existence. We spend our lives studying money, science, and history, but we ignore the anomaly. Most people judge it based on headlines. They have never actually read the code. Are you really going to live your whole life without reading the final update? Don't take my word for it. Read the manual yourself. Challenge the text. I promise you, it will speak to you in ways you are not prepared for. Approach it with a clean slate. Empty your cup so it can be filled. Subscribe to dive deeper into the mysteries of history and the human mind. The truth doesn't need defending. It defends itself when you finally look at it. Stay curious, seek the truth, and never stop asking the hard questions.